Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. What you'll do is you'll take these edits and make your revisions using the comments here. Duplicate your site so that you can feel free to make your changes and things. So I'm going to jump right in and look at these as a first-time site visitor. Even if I've seen your sites, I'm going to give you the idea of what someone coming to your site landing here is experiencing and what changes you may need to make. All right. Okay, Johnny, good job having your name and your service up here. You might want to make that the same size font. You do have a sufficient space, so it might be beneficial. If you're going to have this here, then definitely center this line. Great job with your navigation. You may want a brighter color here to help distinguish it. And left align this. I like this image. It's conflicting still, competing here, but perhaps with a black rectangle behind the text that helps it come forward and separate it from the background. Just a transparent box back there, and 10-20%, whatever works. And yeah, left align that. We want to be careful when we are putting images in. We don't want to cut off logos or text or important body parts like heads and things like that. This isn't required. I wouldn't leave that here. I would wait, and it doesn't work out real well as far as the line breaking and things like that. On a larger site, if you've got, maybe down the road, but right now it's more intrusive than helpful. This I'm not sure you even need, simply because of the way it's breaking. You want it to be nice and clean, and yeah, that's your goal. So the about, again, you've got a background that's sort of, I know this is super bold, but I'm still trying to see these faces and what's back here. So think about that. But I like that you have your mission there. Let's see, a little more line spacing under introduction, I think, a little space there. And let's see. Yeah. Nice image. This looks skewed, so be careful of that. And this apparently is in your footer, so you want to have your year down here, 2025, your name, but not all of this, all right? It's just taking up a lot of space. And again, you're going to have all that centered. Okay. Good. There's enough spacing. And, well, okay, this spacing isn't consistent with this. So might want to do that. It's great if you have the same number of lines. I don't mind this, except that I'm just a little confused. Maybe if this were, this font separation, line spacing, and reverse, so that this whole column is the same, but just some consistency there. And this amount of spacing might work best for here. Okay, that's even if you had to edit it a little bit. I don't think it'll go too long. Make a line out or something, but I think you need that breathing space. It just feels tight. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's take out this placeholder image. And this is a great shot if you want to put that for your, let's take this out. It's in the way here, and this is placeholder. So you'll want to work on that. Yeah, that's going to go out. Let's see. If you want to put a link down here, when you take this out and put a link to your contact, that'd be good. But I feel like rather than this image, which doesn't feel real natural, maybe that's where you want your contact image. And then you could just have your mission here, or some other. I don't know if this is yours or not. Hopefully it is, because you need to have original work. I'm not going to go and look, but make sure it is, and then maybe another photo that you've taken, piece of your work that would be here, and put this on your about page. Okay, it just makes sense to me. Let's see. Let's look at your mobile. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see what this is now. That smile, I didn't notice it before. Be careful of overlapping, so you'll want to work on that, all of that. I'd probably take this out. Yeah, just go ahead and take it out on your desktop, and then it will remove it. I'll take this out and link up to at least a LinkedIn if you don't have these, YouTube or something for your professional sites for sure. Yeah. So here you're just going to have that. Take this out. I think feels like it's in your header, but we'll see. I would take that out, have that nice black and white here, a little space underneath introduction, maybe some line spacing. You might not even want it underlined. That I'm always inclined to want to click something that is underlined, but you have a good amount of padding, margin that's working. Yeah, I would take the underline out. It's probably the template, but I don't think you need it. And then this is all going to come out, and you're just going to have your name and your year and a contact button if you like that goes to your contact page. A sample of your work here, just a little image of your work would be good. And we really don't want things breaking like that. Maybe it could be crafting stories, and then second line frame by frame, for example. Even crafting stories centered, and then frame by frame under it centered. You could try that. And we talked about these things. And any edit you make in your desktop, of course, is going to follow through to your mobile view, but you want to still go through and work on your mobile view. And you're going to take all of this out. Take out that background, update all of that, link up everything. Those are the changes that you'll make this week, all right? If you need an extra day, I usually don't allow it on week 4, but I'm not getting your feedback to you as early as I usually do. So if you take another day, that's going to be okay with me, all right? All right, let's move on to the next one. And that's for anyone in this particular group. This is one of the later feedback groups. All right, Camber. Let's see, there was something. Oh, the background image here. We want to make sure, I believe that's a vanity or something. We blur that out. Okay, nice image, but we want to make sure we don't have that type of background, like kitchen or bathroom, bedroom, any of that. We want to get rid of. And let's see. Okay, I can read that. Nice. I can understand all of that. Let's see. You want to make sure these are the same fonts, probably the same size. You want to make those all the same. This is a different font, right? This G, if we look at it, is, different than the one above. Here, and different here. So there is a extension that I use, and it helps me. I can't always use it on your mobile view on this one. I have to look at your published view, but it will tell me what font you're using, and you can download it too. It's for Chrome. Any page that you're on in Chrome, anybody's website, it will tell you what their font is that they're using. Left align these. Once we get a couple, 2 or 3 lines, they now become a paragraph. So that's why that is. It may have worked when it was just, in the template. And if you can, try and get this down to 4 lines like you have here, and that will align better. And I feel like, okay, so those are going to, this goes to your about. And this goes down here. So watch where you're linking, all right? You may want a page for weddings and a page for commercials. We do need to have navigation up here. That's essential. It's possible that it was deleted. It's possible that you've accidentally hidden it. They actually don't allow you to delete the header, but you may have deleted your navigation. So you can add that by going through that plus icon in Wix and looking for menus and anchors and things, and you can put one up here, but you definitely need to have that to link to these sections. So you're going to have one for commercials and one for weddings, and it's going to link here when you select weddings, and here at the top there'll be a anchor line that you put at the top of the strip where you want it to land when you click on that page link. Yeah, and then, or since there's not a lot of scrolling, you can link up here to 2 more pages if you like, simply because you're working with 2 different topics. Doesn't always work to do that, but it's not too big. I think you can do it. You do want to move this over to the left. You can see it's overlapping. And close up that space. Good job linking up and having your year here. Hopefully this is a Google Voice number or not your personal number, so you don't receive a lot of spam and situations like that. Let's go ahead and look at your mobile. You're doing a great job of keeping it clean and organized. All of you so far are doing that. I would make a little hierarchy here where Chainbreak Media is larger, a little bolder. Not necessarily bolded, but has more importance. Close that up. This. Okay. And we're going to close that. Okay, so probably, well, definitely, there is a menu here. It's one of those 3 lines that we call hamburgers, and it's black on black is why we don't see it. Keep all caps consistent if you're going to use all caps. And again, this font, so decide what font you're using for your paragraph text. Remove that. And all of this. All the placeholder text has to come out. Raise this if this is your content. Move that up, and again, make this white. Change the color of your 3 lines to white so we can see it. This is a different tracking. It's been extended a little bit, so we want to be careful with that. Keeping, this is a good font with this. So if you use this font, that's good, but if you want to use this for some of your subheadings, that's okay, but be consistent. And let's see. So this is talking about your monitors. Is make sure that this is all your content that you're ready to show. Okay, yeah, there's some consistency things, some details, but otherwise you've got a great start, and I think that it's going to come together with just a little bit more time, and I think you're going to be able to use your results. Okay, great start. Okay, Jack, I didn't get a mobile link, so I can't look at that really. Make sure you link up all of your socials, or at least a LinkedIn. Okay, you want to delete that template background, and the way you can do that is you can go over on the left in Wix. There'll be an icon. It's the 4th one down, I believe. It has a letter A with the color drop. If you select that, you'll have the option to change your background, and you want to select a solid color, white. And once you do that, that background will disappear, that photo. This needs a little more distinction from the background, so you may need to have either move it over here where we don't have white, or make some sort of blue-gray shape that has a transparency, 20% or whatever it takes to bring out that distinction. Nice photo. Feels a little cramped. I feel like if this was brought up, this image was cropped right there, it would make more sense. This wouldn't float as much. It would be landing right at the bottom here, and I think that would be interesting, and it would keep up this horizontal effect that you have going here, far more horizontal than vertical. So I would consider that, cropping that image to there, so that it lands right here. Okay. The background. When you go into your site design section, just make sure you're applying that to all of your pages. Check that out. So when you have 2 different titles here, and one is longer than the other, both have to be the same size as the one that fits. So if you have to have this fit at this size, then I might be able to use this for here. So this is 25 points, Palantino, or Georgia, and this one is 29. So you're going to have to make the 29 one, change that to your 25, okay? They have to be the same size, so you just have to go with the smallest, okay? So it's consistent for design work. Okay, so I'm not sure we need 2 buttons here, but we'll see how much content you have. Okay. And each of these will need, okay, you want to try and have those selected where they don't play automatically. And here you want to have a little bit of a descriptor instead of the file name. You can go into your collection to rename things if you can't find where to add your asset descriptions. Let's see. I know this template has this. I just feel like it would be good to get into your work sooner, but you know, it's a style that you've picked. So this doesn't necessarily work as well. I would actually change this to this font. Okay. It will read better. So you'll have to double check it. Okay. Because this one, you know, is italic. It's harder to read for sure. And it will look better on this page as well if you use the Wbd 20 points. Okay. And that background's going to come out. You're going to have a form here. Okay, so you can add that. And all right, so go through and make sure that all of these, if you're going to do it like this, you know, I think the all gray or all white look better, but like over here, but you could place them here. But don't have two sets and don't have a set that, we only want to have a set that's working. So I have to go back over here to find this, and some people may have forgotten about that. All right, let's see. This looks like it's more or less a header. I mean, it's an image, and we don't really get into your work. So let's get into your work right away. And instead of having this something this big that is rasterizing on the letters, then, you know, just put a social media heading up here. The other thing is, this is a picture of words. When you go, when someone searches, the search engine's going to go through like a heading 1, your larger heading, and whatever that word is, if it's social media content, then that will be picked up by search engines and Google, but this won't be because it's a picture, and it won't pick that up. Work on that. So yeah, let's see, what do you have here? This goes to your documentaries. All right, same thing here. It's not a video. Originally I thought it was. It's not a video, it's not going to play, so just put, you have this here. You can just go straight into your examples. If you like the look of this, you like the color, then, you know, you could put it, this is going to play better against black, but, you know, you could introduce that color in a background here. Let's see, for that strip, you know, this strip. So what I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to cover anything up. I'm not a fan of drop downs, but, and you don't have to, you could just put documentaries in social media, or you can make a drop down of documentaries in social media and remove this page because it's really just navigation. So, and we're having to go back, and if I'm here, whether you have documentaries in social media and then contact, you could do that, or you could have drop down that is portfolio, documentaries, social media, so that they can make a choice, but they need to be able to have this on every page available to them, and this isn't. Okay, let's see. Can't really look at your mobile. I'm familiar with this particular template for sure, but yeah, see, you want to take these out. but you're going to have to check your mobile screen and make sure you submit that feedback link for your revision in case you can get those points. All right, Andres, let's see here. Nice logo. You do it, I think I mentioned this before. Excuse me. I think I mentioned before that you want to make sure that this is sharp, so it's going to need to be in Adobe Illustrator and not a JPEG. JPEGs are small. They're great for, sending images quickly because they're such a small file, but they're not clear. So this would have to be a much larger image to begin with before it would be very clear. So let's see. I believe I clicked this at one time. Yeah, I think we talked about whether or not that would be explore or rename that button here. Rename that to about. Nice. Do like the logo. That's what we used to call the edited cube in painting and drawing. Okay. You've got that TikTok vibe going on, which makes it all right, and you've got all the breathing room around it, makes it okay. I didn't mention it before because it's not really a detail, and it's really fine. It's fine. You want to make sure that these are all using the same line weights typically, or the same shades, like white would be somewhere in here. Like fill that in with white, but they're okay. They're okay. It's okay to have these centered because they're only 4 lines. They're well separated and they're aligning at the bottom and at the top. So it doesn't bother me, but one more line and they'd be definitely a paragraph. Update this phone number, right? Or just remove it. This feels a little tight here, and I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, you're using all of them. This, we've got a few too many font styles, right? So we have this one, which I know it's a link. This isn't going to show up for me because... Okay, so we're going to what may be your Adobe portfolio. And yeah, and the thing about that is you would have to purchase the Creative Cloud immediately when you graduate, or you should. I mean, this would work for some time, but if you wanted to update it, it's a little confusing because this should link to your home page. If you want to have your portfolio link, Adobe Portfolio, I would provide it somewhere, discreet, right? Like a button here. Okay. You do want to make sure that you've got something that tells us
the photo shoot in someone's house, and
that sounds like AI. You want to be careful if that's the case. Let's see. I do want you to find a clean way to tell us exactly something about these images. And usually, if you have created a portfolio or gallery page in Wix, it's going to be in your middle column after you go to Pages and Menu, and you'll have Portfolio, and then you'll have the option to select Collection and give a little bit of name or asset description to these, so that when you click on it, it should come up here. Okay, a little description that you give it. Let's see. Okay. And so, yeah, getting back to the font, I think that, okay, so this is this. This might, I don't think it needs a period because it's not a full sentence anyway. And let's see. Yeah, I'll let you decide what, but you want to focus on primarily two fonts, one for your heading, one for your body copy. Your body copy frequently does look well as your navigation, but then so does a clean sans serif font. And make sure purple is, that these are the colors you want, that they, talk about your brand, because you've got this, pink and baby blue. That's more of a salmon, I guess. But anyway, those are colors that you have here, which might pull together a little better there. Just something to think about. You also have this green. All right, but the work is good. Everything is looking good. Good, clean. I do like that you just have the 4 because you've got a lot of symmetry going on. So I do like the 4 if you don't need all of these. So this is YouTube and TikTok. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, you can include them, but they seem heavy. Maybe there's a lighter version of the YouTube, I don't know if there's a white version, reverse, to make it feel a little more cohesive with the other. It's not your fault that, X changed their logo, so it feels different. All right. Good. Interesting choice. I guess I would consider a bright aqua, or equally bright, maybe a bright teal, but equally bright, if that's what you like about that. All right, so let's look at your mobile. Yeah, this font is just, it's, too thin a stroke. If that's not already everywhere, I would go ahead and change that now. Maybe a semi-bold, maybe, but I would think about that. Look at your headers and see, or your headings, style font, see if that works for you. This would be great. Cinematographer is legible, it really is. But this would be great in other places. Okay, this is really legible at almost any size. It really reminds me of the eye chart that doctors use. It may be, but that is definitely a font to consider. And you may know what that is. Let's see. I could guess, but think about what that is, and call this about. It could even be that, but narrow down your fonts. Okay, narrow them down. Navigation would be beautiful in this. This would be beautiful in this, but pick those up and it's going to help keep things clean. We've got another font. Okay, so that's where you are on that. Great. Photo. You might be able to break this down by a couple of lines, just so we're not scrolling quite so much. And we definitely don't have the same line spacing here. It's just a little too noticeable. That's working well at size. It does feel a little tight, so I think just a little, like a point here and then a little here, or could be this too. This is pretty tight. I think that's the main thing. Let's see. You could even bring this over, put a vertical bar here, like a slash, and see if you can get editing or edit up there on one line without, going beyond your margin. This probably could go, this could probably be reduced just a hair in size so that the weight isn't heavier than these. But I'm really getting into details with you here, so I'll try and get out of the weeds. Okay, so this is where you would have information, just something, a little small detail about it, and your role. That's where it would show up. And you want to make sure that that's created by you. It's going to be important. Okay. Yeah, I would make this a brighter shade of that, a neon shade. Watch your spacing there. Make it, bring this closer, make that a little lower than this. So put some spacing under negative space media and bring these a little tighter. Or just more space under that heading. All right, terrific job. Really clean. You're so close. I can't wait to see where you are next week or at the end of the week. Well done. Yeah, and you've grown since this, for sure. All right, Melanie. Here's a case, you've used this same font, and the thing is, when it's lowercase like this in a heading, it feels like it's cut off. I know it isn't, it's the style, but it feels that way. And sometimes that's, we have to correct things that don't feel just right. Close this up a little bit. And I'm not sure why we need Grammarly on this. Let's take that off. Okay, delete that. I'm not seeing anything there. Okay. A little higher contrast here. Maybe the color's been made blue. So melodramatic productions is what's going to go at the top. And this is just a subheader. It can be anywhere else, but this needs to be the main heading up here. It needs to go up here and be more prominent than this. Again, you want to use two font styles. close this up. And we should be able to see a little bit more on what this is. So you need some asset descriptions. This, I think you want to remove this page. We don't have navigation here. If it is, I can't find it easily. So that's an issue, right? I can't go anywhere. So that's a problem. I can on your mobile because it's there, and that's really the only way I'm able to view your work. So the desktop has an issue. I don't find any even white. So it's been deleted. You want to go into your plus on your pages and menu. Go into your plus in your Wix icons and select a menu and anchor and select a horizontal menu to put up here. Okay. And it will do this. Okay. So that's super important. I'm only able to see your mobile at this point. And we need to have your year in the footer. The contact needs to go after portfolio, goes last. That's where users are looking for it when they've done tests. Okay, all right. So those are the things you'll want to work on this week. And again, you can have an extra day because I'm giving this to you a little later than usual. But I'm anxious to see where we're going to be on these. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out. Remember, Wix does have a really great support if there's something you don't know, but you can also do a Google search just as quickly and say, as long as you include the word Wix and say, how do I do this in Wix? And it will, guide you really quickly, but you're welcome to contact me and make sure that you make all these revisions for your next submission, right? Great job, everybody.